Hi folks, hope you're doing okay. What I want to show you today is another email common problem thing. This horse is 9 years old, okay? If you want to get a horse that's been jihad around and needed to get lighter at backing up, you got two choices. You can do it with the snaffle bit, or you can do it with the western bit. Now, not that I'm prejudiced, but my snaffle bit is a solid mouthpiece. So it's pressure and release, it's not pain and release. A broken mouthpiece will bend and push on the bars. But folks, what I do is I use a noseband on them, and after they understand the concept, I get rid of it. This is just a temporary thing so that they don't keep gapping at the mouth when I pull on the reins. That's what that's about. So if you take a horse, and I do it from the ground first, because when I get on their back, then I'll start adding my skeleton cues, which you all know. But I want to keep it clear for the horse. And the horse is more relaxed on the ground, and when you get on their back, their mentality is, well, here it comes, he's going to pull on me. So it's just a kind of a polite way of going about this. So now I've got equal pressure, and I just put the pressure on the horse until the horse moves its feet. And it loaded up to move, so I released. So I'm going to put the pressure on again, and I just gave the reins back. I didn't let go of them. Pressure, release. Now please understand what the deal is. It's a straight line from right here to right there. When I get up here, it's going to be a straight line. A western bit is hanging down here, and it's leverage. This isn't leverage, this is direct pressure. And that's why a lot of horses get real cold jawed in the mouth, because you always have direct pressure, and they learn to bow their neck and push their nose out against your hands. Whereas with the leverage of a western bit, which you'll see in a minute, it's easier to get them to break and not be pushing on the mouthpiece. Right here, the horse can push directly on the mouthpiece. That's what he did right now. So my hands aren't moving, I'm just holding the pressure. And it's up to him to figure it out. There, he made it, so I released. Now he understands what I want. Pressure, release, pressure, release, pressure, release. Now what I want you to watch is this straight line of this rein. And watch it change. I'm going to lead him right back up exactly where he was. And I'm going to do the exact same thing again. This is not drilling. What I'm doing is creating a habit. And that's why I come to the exact same place. Here it comes. Pressure. Thinking. More pressure. Straight line. The collection will come later. Leaning on the bit. Release. Pressure. Release. Pressure, release. As the feet move, I'm giving the reins back. So the horse has a reason to do this. If you never give the rein back, they have no reason to do this. Now I'm starting to incorporate me. When I reach over this neck and pick up those reins, I will exhale. Release. Now what I just got was a half of an intentional step. And then he braced up. Well, there's the pressure, horse. You need to get away from the pressure. What do you think you should do? You can't gap at the mouth because I've got a noseband on you. You can't lower your head and get away from this pressure. You can move your feet. Now, Folks, once again, to my way of thinking, if I'm standing on the ground, it's different than when I'm on his back. So the polite way to introduce this is in increments. I believe in my heart that if I just got on his back right away, it would take me longer because he's ready to brace up, because that's where this happened. It didn't happen by somebody walking alongside him. I'm trying to see it from his point of view. But what I'm going to know when I get on is that I in fact had him walking backwards with intent. Now watch the change. Remember when it first started? There it is. Now he's starting to back up on a loose rein. Then he gets stuck. So I just increase the pressure and let him know that you're supposed to back up on loose rein. Now what I'm feeling through the reins is that I'm getting, about every third step, I'm getting a half of an intentional step. Now what I want you to watch this time is the first step. The reason I had to go twice as far is because I had to convince him that whenever I ask, you need to do it. Now watch the left front foot. Here it comes. This is a horse to contemplate. I'm not putting I've got very little pressure. So if the horse didn't make it, which it did not, I'll put the same amount of pressure I had on the last time. This time I offered him real light pressure to see if he could make it. He didn't. Well, it's nothing personal, it's just what he does. Now he's starting to move his tongue, which means he's not protecting his mouth. I know everybody's important, but if you will take the time to take your time, it's worth it. A 9-year-old gelding should not be in a snaffle bit. This is for teaching purposes only. There, he's getting lighter now. He did roll the cricket on the release. Now, I know he's got it. So I'm going to put the western bit on. It isn't perfect. Well, I didn't expect perfect. What I expected was some kind of try of him wanting to walk backwards. Here it comes. See what I mean? He knows what to do. So I'm going to change bridles.
So there's no reason for you to do this in the saddle with this particular horse?
No, because what I'm doing is once I get the western bit going, then I can get on him and he'll have it.
And he's ridden in a western bit?
He's rode 1,000 miles in a western bit. I'm just trying to get him lighter. But the way I started this deal was telling you that if you get a horse and he's not real light at backing up, this is an exercise that you can do. Instead of sitting on his back and doing it, I think you get a better result the way I'm doing it. Now what you just watched is a habit. Has nothing to do with he hates the bit, oh my God, he's in pain, nothing. All that is a habit. That habit will in fact go away by A, riding your horse, which means you had to put the bridle on. So the more you ride, the quicker this will go away. And just for the sake of knowing, because I've heard this 1,000 times, he hates the bit. Well, that's not true. What he does is doesn't want to get bridled and hopes that you'll quit and go to the house. And because of being bridled incorrectly for quite a while, this is how this all happens. He's 9, so he's been at least 7 years of riding. We all know the story of the curb strap. One finger, no more than 30 degrees. There's one finger. There's the contact. 30 degrees means this is 0 and this is 90. That's 30. So we'll come back over where we were. And now I got a different ball game. Any of you folks that's been on ranches that had to dig post holes with a bar and a shovel, not a post hole digger because it wouldn't work because of the rocks, and you use a bar, and you know that on the end of the bar, if it's a straight bar, it's not as easy if you got a little bend in the bar. I hate to tell you I know how to dig a post hole, but I'm just telling you. The point is, it's leverage that knocks the rocks out of the side so you can get them out. This is leverage, what you're looking at. When I pull back, here's my bar, the curb strap is the curb part, and I literally put pressure against the mouth and the horse steps back. So a Western bit, a Western riding horse, it's all about the curb strap. Now watch him bridle up. There. As you can tell the way his head's moving, it's another set of pressure.
And it also magnifies the strength that you have to pull on the rein, right? So it's
Yeah.
not your strength against his strength.
If the snaffle bit, I had to use 10 pounds. Now I'm using 1/2 of a pound. Now the horse bobbed his head up in the air, right? So watch, I'm going to shorten my rein and just walk down the mane. If he throws his head, he's going to run into my hand because my hand isn't moving. So I'm telling him, sort it out. There's those options again. I heard the cricket. There, now I can release. Pressure, release. Pressure. When they turn their head, they're trying to take the reins out of your hand. That's what they're doing. All this is a habit that you're fixing.
A nail?
Well, anybody that owns a property that in 1940 people started building stuff on it, you pick up nails and screws the rest of your life. They seem to come up out of the ground. All right, here it comes. I want you to understand the habit part. I don't even have any pressure on the bit. Hear the cricket? I'm not pulling. Now I was able to release. Oh, so I don't know if I mentioned it, but you got to have patience. If you got a thing like soccer or crochet class, don't do this. Now, hear that breath? Here it comes. Here it comes. Now the amount of pressure on my hand is the difference between picking up an apple and picking up a watermelon. The watermelon being the snaffle bit. That's why as soon as I saw that he figured it out, I got away with it. I got away from it. Now here's the deal. I've just raised the bar on him. In other words, horse, if you want to throw your head around, you're going to run into my hand. You need to know that. And if you run into my hand, you're not going to care much for it. Now watch him sort it out. I didn't release. It still means back up, horse. Now watch my hand go down the mane. So what I'm telling him is that you get behind that bit and carry it just like that. Now I want him to carry his head, carry the bit, and oh, by the way, it has to come out the bottom of his feet. Every time I walk back up here in my mind, I've got him doing it perfect. Exhale, execute. And remember, this has nothing to do with me. This is his choice. I'm just setting it up. That's all I'm doing is setting it up. Here it comes. There it is. The things that really happen, folks, with the horse, he's 9. He's been rode a long time. He gets into a habit because of being ridden incorrectly. And it's not like you got to can him, it's just that you want to fix it. You want him to back up quietly. Because once again, you know me, it's all about ranch horses. So now I can get on him. I'm going to go right back where I was. He thinks we're going out to see the country. I have just put my left leg on and asked him to turn right. Now watch. I'm going to be on the neck like I was just a second ago. Right there. Hold an ice cream cone. Pull the rein through your hand. That's the lever. Here it comes. Here it comes. Let me show you one of the ways this happens. In other words, the horse does what he does because of being ridden too high. See where my hand is? A lot of people get all caught up in what they're doing and they got their hand too high. And so they're literally pulling the horse's head up in the air. And then when they pull on it, they're lifting the horse's head. That's why my hand is here. And I can either slide it down the mane, which he just connected the dots, or I can pull it through my hand. Here it comes. You don't get to do anything but walk backwards. My hand closed because he wanted to root on me. As soon as he figures out to step backwards, and you can't blame him for what he's doing right now. Now when this is over, see me go back to the mane, release. You have to decide all these options I'm showing you what to do. You got to pick when and which one to use. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. You got to know in your heart that whatever thing you put on him and his foot moved, that's a good thing. If his foot doesn't move and he's going like this, don't release. That's how come they learn to pull the reins out of like little kids' hands. Now you notice my hand isn't here no more, it's here. For those of you that graduated school, it's geometry. I've changed the angle of my hand. Because when I'm done, my hand's going to be here or here because I'm roping. Or I'm working a cow. That time as I stopped, I exhaled. Now here, I'm going to offer the best right now. He just made it. I put my hand down because of the release. Asking to back up, release. Asking to back up, release. Asking, no release. That's intentionally walking backwards. That's where it's headed. That's how this works. Now, hopefully, well, I know it does. The computer shows the time and how long this video is. That's
22 minutes.
Well, that's with the snaffle and the western bit. So if you did the math and did 10 on the snaffle and 10 on the western, there's your story I'm always telling. But now I can let go of my reins, which is the number one problem I see is people that might release, but they hold the rein. I'll go over this for the 75th time. When I set my hand down, my reins down, that's it. When I reach for it, the horse knows, because they're smart. He knows that I'm about to ask him to stop, go, turn around, back up, something. There's no stress or no duress or no resentment because he just let out a big old breath. Now watch, when I pick this up, I just told him, I need you to react. Thank you. You're fine. You're fine. That's intentionally walking backwards. Now, the amount of pressure I'm using with my hand is like picking up a grape now instead of a watermelon. That's why as soon as you get it, feel good about the snaffle, don't keep doing it the snaffle. Put the western bit on and go. He's done. Now this is a 9-year-old gelding. He's a family ranch horse is the title I put on him because that's what he came from, was a family ranch. And if you want a nice gentle horse for your family, plus you can go out and tie a cow down, this is it. He's for sale. And if you're interested in buying a horse, then whenever you get a hold of us, I have to know where you live and what your phone number is, because I don't text, I don't Google, I don't do anything. And I don't want Deb to have to deal with this, because then she gets an email or whatever the hell you do, and then she tells me, and then I have to tell her to get the phone number, get it. We don't need that. So just send your phone number and I'll call you. Tell me where you live. The reason I'm saying where you live, because this time of year it's important that I know where you're at. So anyway, this will make a nice, gentle family ranch horse.